JF Stretford, Paddock. This is Round Our Way, and joining me as always is my good friend Scotty. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing absolutely buzzing. Chelsea without a manager. You're going to fill me in on why we're going to beat Real Sociedad tomorrow night. Anything else going on in the big wide world of Manchester United?
No, I mean, Erik ten Hag has been speaking to the media ahead of tomorrow's clash, so we'll get into some of his quotes, what he's been saying. You can see from the graphic there, he's been talking about that boy Ronaldo, so we'll mention that. Also, we will talk about Thomas Tuchel, because it matters, doesn't it, when one of our rivals changes managers, obviously.
Yeah, I think so, because it lessens their chances of getting top four, I think, who we're coming up against.
Well, let's get into that. Get into the comments as well. Let us know what you think about any of the latest news. And also, if you've got anything you want to chat about, then give us a shout, because you know what we're like. We'll chat about anything. When you heard the Thomas Tuchel news, were you surprised?
I was surprised. I was saying to Joe Smith earlier on, I expected maybe it might not last the season, but I didn't think it'd be this soon. And there's rumours of Graham Potter taking over for him. I think it's a step too far for him to go from Brighton. Do you not think? Would you go from Brighton to Chelsea?
Would I?
Yeah.
Like, if I was him, like,
well,
is that not like the natural progression? Though?
No,
you
because
do well at Brighton, then you go to a top four club.
No, I think there's a step between there.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so.
What would you in in an ideal world? What do you think the progression would be?
I'd probably say somewhere like the Arsenals or Everton, around that sort of club. Brighton are doing well and doing well, probably majorly down to him, but in terms of the size of a club and the money that they can bring in, I just think there's another step between them going to Chelsea.
I almost think I understand what you mean. I almost think now, though,
it doesn't work at Chelsea. Where does he go?
Yeah, I mean, it's a gamble for him, but I think this could be his opportunity, and this might even be his best opportunity, his best time to go.
Yeah,
because they're flying at the minute. I think where are Brighton in the table? Like top four or something.
Yeah, they're smashing it this season.
Obviously they beat United, and they're the fourth, right? So they're in. As we speak, they are in the top four, right? They've just had a good season last season as well. He's got this reputation of playing good football, deserved reputation, because they do. You know, we see the way he plays. He's also good at sort of, I know this won't really apply to Chelsea, but he's good at moving players on and replacing them. Do you know what I mean? He's done that consistently since he's been at Brighton. And I just wonder, like, sometimes managers, they have that opportunity, that window, and they don't take it, and then it never comes around again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying that will happen with Potter, because I think he's a good manager, but, you know, let's say
that happened with Eddie Howe, didn't it, at Bournemouth? Because a long time, I think after Wenger, there was rumours that Eddie Howe was going to take over after Wenger, and then he fell off, didn't he? Because the Bournemouth team, there was no way he could keep up that pace of progression. Yeah.
Even to a lesser degree, because, you know, he might still end up going somewhere, and he's had a couple of big jobs. But Rodgers, there was a time when it looked like he was going to go from Leicester. He was linked with United, wasn't it? And then now it's like, he looks like he could get sacked from Leicester. But with Potter, because I think there's others being linked. There's Zidane's been linked as well, isn't there? And
not happening.
Pochettino's another one. But with Potter, I feel like the one thing that may hold him back there is whether he can sort out the egos in that dressing room.
Yeah.
Because he was linked with United, and this was before he had last season as well. This was like sort of the beginning of last season or whatever, and I was thinking it sounds like it's a bit too soon for him there, and I don't know if he can come in where we have this problem at United with all these egos, and can he be the guy they're gonna listen to, because he's gonna be like, well, actually, I finished 16th with Brighton, and I know what I'm doing, and they're gonna be like, who are you? So I just wonder whether certain players at Chelsea who've won a lot, they've all, a lot of them have won the Champions League, a lot of them have won league titles, they've, a lot of them have played, at the top level for a number of years. Will they listen to him?
There's only one way of finding that out, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, that experience only comes from dealing with egos. The thing is about Potter is a seasoned manager. I don't think many people know about the experience away from English football, because he was in Norway, wasn't he, for a while, and he's quite successful over there, and he's done quite a lot of badges across Europe. So I rate him as a manager. I just don't know if it was me that he needs to jump ship from Brighton so soon this season. I think he could leave it to the end of the season. You look at clubs like Everton, Lampard, I don't think he'll be there next season. Hopefully they'll get their shit together, and they're going to a new stadium. That could be. Conte never really lasts long. If it was me, I'd probably go Spurs over Chelsea if that job ever came up. But my thing about Tuchel being sacked at Chelsea is that Chelsea never took on my Thomas Tuchel chant.
Go on. So share with the group.
I'm not going to sing it because it'll get clipped up.
It might get clipped up anyway if you don't sing it.
It can do anyway.
What's the tune?
Right, well, have
you tweeted this? Can I find it on
It was a play on the Bobby Brown classic. Tuchel play that game.
Ah, right, yeah, I love that song.
I thought that would have worked, but Chelsea don't have many good tunes, do they?
Yeah. No,
and
they
I kept
don't.
tweeting him every game, like, come on, get it going, lads. And he just didn't. Tuchel play that game.
You're playing.
But it's not playing anymore.
That game. Tuchel play that game. Yeah, I love that. Great shout.
I'm glad you did it. I'm not looking like a dick on the net.
Man, that ship has sailed for me. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that. It affects me in any way because I already look like a knobhead. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Santa Notchi's here again. He's saying, wasn't going to say, Potter has the egos to deal with now. Agreed. Talk about the egos he's got to deal with. Santa Notch also says, up the Bobby Brown, Scotty Red. The Man United agenda, always good to see them. Guys in the chat says, I remember that tune back in the days. Yeah, that was a tune, that wasn't it? Back in the day. And he didn't have many, did he, Bobby Brown? He was just like...
My Prerogative was the only
that
one.
was one. And
it was more famous.
Around was another one.
It was more famous for being Whitney Houston's shit husband.
Yeah, Mr. Whitney Houston. Yash Gami says, honestly, no, man, we need Graham Potter for England. Take Southgate for Chelsea manager and get him in for now. And laughing emojis. Yeah, would you have Potter as England manager?
I couldn't give a shit.
Yo, you don't care about England, do you?
No.
You care about England even less than I do, and that's saying something. All right, then let me rephrase that. Do you think he'd do a good job as England manager?
I think given the football that he plays at Brighton, he's more of a active manager. No, what's the word for going forward? Rather than pragmatic in Southgate, he's more like he'll attack the ball and push it forward, whereas Southgate just seems to sit on 1-0 wins or 1-0 leads, and I just don't. He's a shit manager, shit waistcoat. He is, isn't he? Like Southgate doesn't get a good job after the England. He's not covered himself in any glory.
It was weird because 2018, me and you were hanging about watching matches around the country. And there was a real buzz about it, wasn't there? And everyone was like, "Oh, this is great." And you know what? Okay, we didn't beat loads of good teams to get to that semi-final. I'm not going to pretend we did. I'm say we. I mean England. But it was exciting. Do you know what I mean? It was the first time since '99 we always got to a semi-final of the World Cup.
It was a hot summer.
Yeah,
you know that.
No, but it was. Yeah, but it was. There was a buzz, wasn't there? There
was a buzz. I think that...
And it's a shame it's sort of... like even like in the Euros was a buzz as well, but in terms of him as a manager, I still feel like... I kind of hear what you're saying because I still feel like...
Yeah. I think it's just because...
not that amazing. It's
that England team, you should be reaching them level, you know, them stages of international tournaments. You know, you could put Southgate in charge of Man City, he'd still finish top 4. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing.
No, I hear you. What's this saying? Sam J says Scotty and Motty top duo. Thank you, my brother. Nikos P says FOOK England. Yeah, he's not feeling England support as well. RG says Potter plays 3-5-2 formation. Interesting. We'll see because it might not be Potter. He's just one name that's being mooted about. I think he's been given permission to speak to him. I think as well he's got a £16 million buyout clause to get him, which seems about right, doesn't it? If you think about the amount that players go for, the manager's like, you know,
that's good. That's good business. That's good business by Brighton because I think if Potter does leave Brighton, then watch them fall right down that league table. Do you know what I mean? So they've got to compensate for that.
I was surprised when Brighton got rid of Chris Hughton. You know, I thought a bit harsh. Do you know what I mean? I thought they've not got many resources. He's a pretty solid manager. He's done well there. Like I said, on a bit of a shoestring. I know the football wasn't great, and they took a bit of a punt, didn't they, on this guy who's been at Ostersund, like you were mentioning. But you can't fault it. They play good football. You know, they make money in terms of the transfers and stuff, and they're challenging. You know, they think they finished 9th last season. They're in the top 4 as we speak. So well done to Brighton for taking that punt, and well done to Graham Potter for delivering on it as well. Because sometimes you can be a bit snobbish, and you think, and I'm guilty of it. You think, oh, why are they aiming above that, or why are they not happy with their lot in life? But as a United fan, does it worry you if they're going to get a new manager because Chelsea have started so badly? And obviously, I don't think we'll win the league this year. I hope we would, but I don't think we would. Chelsea's obviously the one that wants the top 4 that we might challenge for it. How do you feel about it affecting us? When do we play Chelsea? Let's have a look. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's weird because Chelsea, I thought, would do better this season. I thought that they, the signings they've made with Tuchel, who I rate as a manager, obviously, he's been there a little while. When I say a little while, I know it's a small while, but he has, in comparison to most managers, he's had enough time there where, he's had a full season, and plus at the back end of the other season, he's won something there as well, won the Champions League, of course. So I thought they'd do well this season, or at least, be there or thereabouts. But this bad form, last season, they fell off, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had a good start and then they fell off. So it's sort of been a continuation from that. We play them on the 22nd of October.
Not that far away, then.
No, it's not that far, and that's away at Stamford Bridge as well. You think by that time the new manager's come in and got his feet well under the table.
Well, you get the bounce, don't you?
Yeah, that's that. So in answer to your question, I'm just not really sure. I don't know. I'm not like, oh, this is great because this means now that Chelsea are done out of the top 4 because they can turn it around. It's only September.
Yeah.
They've got good players. You know, you mentioned some of there. The money they spent in the summer, they're bringing in likes of Koulibaly, bringing in likes of Cucurella, obviously from Brighton, Sterling as well. They've already got good players there as well. So, you know, you'd expect Chelsea to be thereabouts, no matter who's managing them. It's just whether they get this one right. And the thing with Chelsea, what they usually do is they usually go for the best manager who's available.
Yeah.
Don't they? That's their MO.
Yeah.
So it's Conte, it's Mourinho, it's Hiddink, it's Tuchel.
The only time I remember them doing that and it not working was when they hired Frank Lampard.
Well, I don't. But I think that was a bit different because
wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't the best manager, was it? That was someone
That
who
was like a title.
Yeah,
maybe John Terry get the job. John Terry managing Chelsea.
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind that because I don't think that'd be a success. I think that would be giving it him on nostalgia, and I don't think he's the brightest spark to
John Terry.
stretch of the imagination.
You don't think John Terry's clever?
No, I just don't.
Really?
I don't see him going in there and
not
suddenly, you know, turn it around and all of a sudden Chelsea are dominating English football, playing expansive brand of football because they've got John Terry to help. I think he's going to go in there, he's going to give a few sound bites in interviews and everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, you know, John Terry's here and all that.
Are you surprised, mate? He comes across as such an articulate bloke.
He does, doesn't he, when he's shouting, you know, racial abuse at his fellow professionals. Anyway, we've got some merchandise available. As you can see there, there's the graphic, and we're using it as well there, the Marcus Rashford there.
We're not using it. No, I've been in, how long have I been in this building? An hour. They've not even got me a bloody brew. But when there is a brew in these cups, they're well worth drinking from.
Yeah, so make sure you check out. Nice. Paddock merch. We've got designs, got loads of different designs. You can see there, we've got the McSauce one. He's doing well out. Innit? McTominay, we're going to get onto him in a minute. Marcus Rashford, another one who's doing well as well. He's banging in the goals. We've got T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and mugs, of course. You get 20% off if you buy 2 or more items even, using the code Paddock20. So clicking the link in the description for the discount to be automatically applied. Remember, Paddock members have an exclusive discount which is passed on in the community tab. Chab. It's a new word I've invented.
Oh, nice.
So click the link to get 20% off if you buy 2 or more items of Paddock merch. There's a link in the description. And a big thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone who supported the channel, and thanks to everyone as well who's joined our membership. We've got extra content on the membership section, but if you're not a member, you're still getting all the usual content as well. So do check out our merch. Talking of McTominay and Rashford, so we look at what Erik ten Hag's been saying in his press conference.
Yeah, man.
Because we've had enough Chelsea for one.
Yeah,
day. That's enough of that. 10 minutes of them is more than enough. So Erik ten Hag was talking ahead of the Sociedad game. He had him and Diogo Dalot doing the press conference because for the Europa League you have 2 of them there, don't you? He mentioned Ronaldo. So he was asked about Ronaldo. He said he started against Brentford, not since then. Not since, but he is ready to start, of course. So you could see him starting in the Europa.
I expect so. I think with the cup games coming in now, then I think we're going to see a change to what would be his favoured 11, which I imagine was what started against Arsenal the weekend, maybe with Casemiro starting.
It's mad, isn't it, that all of a sudden, me and Joe did the preview. So you go and check the preview out, it's up on the channel as well. And we were looking at it and thinking, even if you drop everyone who's now considered first team and bring in the Resis, it's still a good team. Still got some like experience there. You've still got big name players there. You've still got, you know, sort of players that not long ago were sort of guaranteed to start for Manchester United.
This is the beauty about bringing in players that are actually going to try their hardest on the pitch, is that you get and we'll talk about this with McTominay, is that it urges the others that have lost their place to try better to when they do get their chance in the team. Because say Ronaldo gets to start, he'll want to keep that position, you know what I mean? And that's how you have a really strong and healthy football club. And what the problem was under Solskjaer, in my opinion, there's too many players that were complacent that they were always going to get start in the starting 11. And I don't like to point the finger at Harry Maguire, but Harry Maguire was definitely one of
I don't like to point the finger at Harry Maguire, but I'm going to. Certainly, that's changed. Because Harry Maguire obviously is not guaranteed to start for. But
he'll have the bit between his teeth now because he'll want to start. It will Cup coming up in December. Do you know what I mean? And that just shows what strength in depth actually means to a football club.
I'm impressed as well with the fact, like you say there, you know, like someone like McTominay, everyone thought for the Arsenal game he's going to bring in Casemiro. It's like, no, McTominay's playing well. He keeps his place.
Yeah,
and that's a great message to the players. You know, you play well in this team. Doesn't matter who's breathing down your neck. You've got a 5-time Champions League winner behind you. You're still in the team because you've been playing really well, and I admire that. I really do. And obviously, Ten Hag knows what he's doing because it's paid off.
He seems to have struck that sweet spot between disciplinarian and also a bit like friendly. Do you know what I mean? And that's hard for a manager, and I think that's what you need. And obviously, that was why Sir Alex Ferguson was amazing at his job. But in the press bites or the press conferences you've seen with Ten Hag, he is very sort of stern in what he expects in the players, and I imagine that's amplified when it's in the changing rooms.
He's already, I agree completely. We've seen it. We saw the pictures, or you probably saw the pictures of him and Marcus celebrating at the end of the game. He seems to be getting the best out of Marcus Rashford. I'll get into the quotes on him in a minute. We've also seen him sort of in press conferences as well, sticking up for some of his players when the Ronaldo thing became a bit of an issue, where he left the game, the Real Valenciano game early. With a few others, do you remember? And I think it was Simon Peach asked him about it, and he was like, he said it's not just Ronaldo, and he was quick to sort of almost defend him, really, because it was like, obviously somebody's dealt with this behind closed doors, but publicly he was sort of backing his players, and I like that. I think he's obviously getting the players on board in what he's trying to do. And there was a lot made of the extra running, wasn't there, after the Brentford game, where he made them all run 13.8 kilometres.
But rumours were that he actually ran it himself.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what does that sends massive messages. Yeah. And this is what, I mean, I'm not going to go on about that shite radio station, but a lot of pundits were saying it's terrible making them run on their day off, and I'm like, but then when you look at the proof, it's evident what happens afterwards. And
there's people giving like weather reports saying it's really hot that day and he's made them run. I ran that day. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm not playing against Brentford the day before, but I ran 10k that day or whatever it was. So it's not like I'm 42 and I'm unfit. It's not like a 21-year-old footballer can't run 13k. Do you know what I mean? It's just like you say that people just looking to lose their mind. Ten Hag's 52 and he did it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what are you on about? You'd think he just made him run like for 50 miles or something. It's just nonsense.
But I admire that because it does show camaraderie and saying, right, we're all in this together.
Yeah, because I think the quotes or the reports were that, he said, we're all to blame for this, including me, this result against Brentford. So we're all going to run the extra bit we should have done. And he's obviously got players on board because the next game against Liverpool, no matter what you thought of that performance, and I thought it was a very good performance, everyone was up for it from United point of view from the start of the game. As soon as that whistle went, we're up for it. We look fitter, we look hungrier, winning our individual battles all over the pitch. Just looked like a team that was buying into what this manager needed and buying into what the crowd needed as well.
Don't you think it's mad from last season where you had that sort of gloom or negativity before going into any United game where you thought they'd drop points, maybe get beaten most weeks, and now I fully expect United to get 3 points. I'll be disappointed if we don't win every game now.
It's mad.
I know we probably won't, but you know what I mean? You have that sort of hope, and you can see there's evidence there where the team's good enough on their day to do it. And we might play counter-attacking football or play to our strengths, but I just think I'm really optimistic for the future.
It's mad, isn't it? Because after the Brentford game, you hit a low ebb and you think, oh my God, it's this again. It's carrying on from last season. Was it 7 straight away defeats? If you took last season into consideration, back-to-back defeats in the Premier League, and you're thinking, this it's not the manager, it's this team, there's this squad, they're just not good enough, they're not up for it, and then all of a sudden, 4 straight wins, and you're like looking at it, you go.
He's shown what a manager does. Do you know what I mean?
That's 100% agree. Alex Buckingham, who's member of the first team for 23 months, thank you, Alex, for your support, says, I've just got Rona and feel like garbage, but the Arsenal fan tears have made me feel a bit better. There have been some right Arsenal fan tears, haven't there? They've had a proper meltdown, haven't they, after that game? Like, all sorts going on. I saw some guy on Twitter who'd done like this analysis of referees and where they come from.
More referees from the Northwest.
Yeah, did you see that?
Fucking lunatic. Get a girlfriend, man.
What are you on about? He'd done this thing from like going back 5 years, whatever it was, 4 years, saying that there's more referees that come from the Northwest than any other area. I think 60% or something. And he looked at that as proof that the decisions were going United's way or City's way, probably.
If I had enough time to do that research, I wouldn't be doing that research.
No, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? What for? What as well? Just you've done all that, and all you've got is abused on Twitter. Like that's what the fruits of your labour.
I'm going to sit down and find the geography of geographical locations of all referees in the Premier League.
I mean, it is sort of when you're looking at that sort of thing where you think, what else is on your hard drive? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying there is anything. I'm just saying it makes you think like that.
You wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that front before we get sued. We're talking earlier about Marcus Rashford's form and how 3 goals, 2 assists so far this season, which is the sort of numbers you want from Marcus. Ten Hag was asked about it. He said, once again, it's difficult for me to talk about the past. What I see is a happy Marcus Rashford. We worked really hard the last 2 months with him on different aspects. He likes it. He wants to transfer it to the pitch. He started with happiness. He comes in every day. He enjoys it. He's smiling, a really positive vibe. And if you put all of those things together, like the way of play, and you are happy, you will contribute more to the team. So he's got him happy, and you can see there's a good relationship with them too.
Yeah, definitely. I think Marcus Rashford sort of embodies Manchester United in the sense that, if he's playing well and happy, then I think United are playing well. And when he's really not, then we're not. I'm not saying our success is down to him, but I think when he's a happy lad, then I think that we definitely get the best out of him. It'd be interesting where he's going to play more of this season, if it is going to be down the middle. Obviously with the signing of Anthony and Sancho and Ronaldo. If Martial's injured again, and meanwhile water is wet.
I know, it's so annoying that, isn't it? Because that good pre-season, and I'd thought, I'd given up on Martial a few months ago, and then he has a good pre-season, and you think, okay, you can see how he fits into this system.
But I'm sure you're going to get to the quote, but this is the thing with McTominay. You don't know what Martial's going to come back. If Ten Hag's getting the best out of people like McTominay, we're hoping Maguire and Cole, who expect to start tomorrow night, will play better. Martial comes back, he played well under Ten Hag in pre-season. Could be a brand new player, and I'm probably one of the biggest critics of Martial ever.
Did you give everyone a clean slate this season?
Everyone except for Martial.
Really?
And Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. That was it.
Right, so no is the answer to that question then. Andrew Naker in the super chat says, saw Leach training the video today, thank God. Yeah, he had a bit of an injury, didn't he? At the weekend.
Who was that?
Martinez.
Yeah, I think he's all right though. I don't think he'll start tomorrow. Is it Palace at the weekend? Isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think there's going to be rotation. But like I was saying, you can rotate this team now, and you can bring in the likes of, Maguire and Lindelof and Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, which was our back four a year ago. You've still got Fred hasn't been starting. He's top drawer. You've got Donny van de Beek is almost a forgotten man. Is he going to get a game? Then you've got some of the youngsters. Garnacho, you're going to give him a game, or maybe you throw a Zidane Iqbal in or whatever. Yeah. There's options there, isn't there?
And there's obviously more cup competitions coming up. I've got a good question for you and for the viewers actually.
Cool.
Would you rather United focus on Europa League and lifting that, or top four?
Oh, that's a good one.
What would you?
If it was an either or,
yeah,
I'd probably say the league, just because that's your bread and butter. It's week in, week out, and it's horrible. We did it with Jose, where you go in and you're watching garbage every week because he's just not bothered with the league, and then once a month it's the Europa, and we're trying. But I know this sounds like a bit of a roundabout way of saying it. If you gave me the choice of finishing fourth or finishing 10th and winning the Europa, I'd take winning the Europa because you're still in the Champions League and you've got silverware.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just that thing of...
It's a laborious season, isn't it?
It is. It's difficult, in it, and it's that whole going and watching it, or just not, you don't have to go, watching it at home or whatever, and just watching, disappointing results week in, week out.
How do you think Ten Hag looks at it, though? Because if you are rotating in Europa League, do you think his concentration is on the league?
I think so. I think it would be, or it could be a little bit of both. Where someone in the chat was saying, "Why not both?" Ed T says, "Why not both?" You could do in the early rounds, you are rotating a lot, and then when you get towards the business end, you make a decision, and you might go. United might be in a position where top four looks guaranteed by March or whatever, and you go, "Okay, I'm going to play my strongest team in the quarterfinals of the Europa," or it could be the other way around, where you go, we're ninth, we're not going to get top four. Let's put all our eggs in the Europa basket. It was just weird in 2017, wasn't it, how quickly Jose focused on that. Because he went early, didn't he?
Yeah,
I remember being at a press conference in January, and he was like, Europe's the focus. And you're like, what, really? Yeah. We've got another 5 months of the season. What are you on about, man? And it was, do you know what I mean? He was like proper rotating for the league. You've seen players just who'd not played for years getting back in the team for the league games. And it showed, I remember drawing like to Swansea at home and losing to, lose to Hull or some more. During Hull, there was a few results where you went, this is horrible. But he did what he meant to do. He got us over the line in the Europa. It's just a massive gamble in it.
Yeah, I think your man was right there on Twitter, on YouTube, who said that why not both? And I think with the strength in depth that we've got now, and if all the players that are on the subs bench are pushing for starting 11 in the Premier League, then the Europa League is their chance to shine, to get into that, the regular starting 11. So it's a possibility. I was just curious to get your opinion.
No, I agree. Nomad says, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it meant to be round our way? No, it's an Oasis song, if you want to go and check that out. The special one says, Donny is finished. Send him back to Ajax. Where do you stand on the Donny van de Beek debate?
Where do I stand on it?
Yeah.
The direction to Manchester Airport.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not
what's the point? Seriously, like he can't be happy, man.
You think about it, he's like, yeah, you know, the one manager you want to come in, I think Joe made his point the other day on a preview, he's Erik ten Hag, and he's come in and nothing's changed really, has it? He's still not getting the team. I think he's as far away from this team as he was when Ollie was manager or Ralph Rangnick.
Yeah,
I know he went on loan under Rangnick, but you know what I mean.
It goes, in terms of mysterious Manchester United signings, it goes Bebe and Van der Beek. Do you know what? I just can't work it out.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that you could read between the lines on both of those transfers, if you know what I mean. Ten Hag has also spoke about McTominay. He said, he was asked about McTominay. He says, you can see it like that. When the team is acting well, we have more than 11 players, then you stay in. The team is improving, it's getting better, but for the players that aren't in the team, they can come in at any moment and maybe do better than the players that are in. I know that you need more than 11 players. We have a really good bench. It's so amazing, isn't it, how this has turned around so quickly.
Yeah, it
where
really
you're
is.
looking at it and everything, you're going, hit that like button as well, by the way. It's almost 1,700 people watching. I think we've not even got to 200 likes. Let's get to at least 300 likes. You look at it in like a few weeks ago, it was all doom and gloom. We haven't got enough good enough squad, we haven't got a team, and we haven't got any of this, and we're getting beat. And, you know, even murmurs of all the manager already under pressure. And now you look at it, you go, the manager's just smashing it. We've got a squad. It's mint.
Yeah, and it could have been also different again because we were so close to signing Arnautovic. I woke up this morning, I was watching Haaland last night for City, and I was like, United were going to sign Arnautovic as their fucking number 9. As their number 9.
We were going to get Arnautovic and Rabiot, and instead went out and got.
But that's down to,
Casemiro
and a lot of people like say that the board won't bow to fan pressure. Like Arnautovic didn't sign because everyone was kicking off regarding stuff he'd said in the past.
Yeah.
And then obviously the protests and stuff, and that's how we ended up getting out Anthony and Casemiro. So Glazer's out. It's a lot more optimistic. I imagine we're going to win tomorrow night, and I think we'll beat Palace on Sunday.
That's the spirit. If you're
up the fucking Reds.
If you're optimistic, Mr. Cynical over here, we've got him. We won him over. Trust me. Hey, we must be doing something right. And yeah, I couldn't echo that sentiment more as well about the Glazers. The fight continues regardless of how many shiny signings we get. Scotty, where can people find you?
On Twitter at Argh Kid, ARGH Kid, and then on every Monday I'm sat with him on Scotty and Motty podcast, and Jay will put something in the chat now, won't you, Jay?
Yeah, well, producer Callum will. Yeah, you can. So you can check that out.
He's eating.
Is he eating?
Yeah.
What, you eating?
Oh,
he's not eating. He's a professional. He doesn't eat at his desk. He's not like me. Yeah, so check that out. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. We'll be back later on tonight with myself and Joe Smith. We're going to have the live vid at, I think we'll probably do it about 9:30, 10:15. It depends what time that inferior European competitions.
Did you see it? I mean, I know we're wrapping up now,
Yeah.
but that was such a crass tweet that Liverpool help post. Did you see that? Be safe in Naples. Don't venture into the dangerous city centre. Did you see it?
To be safe in Naples.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They did this whole thing, this whole post about why you're supposed to be sort of, when you're out there in Naples, don't travel alone, and they made Naples out. They've been watching too much to Gomorrah.
Yeah.
And I was like, really?
Yeah, there's a link to Scotty Mott in the description. Thank you, brother. Yeah, if I was the Napoli admin, I'd be just doing that on the return leg.
Oh,
be safe
I
in
imagine
Croxteth. Watch where you're going around Toxteth and Kirby. Do you know what I mean? You could have
Jimmy Corkill.
Yeah, you could have a real field day with that. I mean, yeah, it does seem a little bit distasteful, that stuff, doesn't it? Anyway, you know, we don't have to worry about that. We've got Europa League games to focus on, the big competition.
Proper
Never mind
football.
that Champions League drivel. Yeah, no one cares about that.
Grassroots.
Exactly. That's been Scotty. I've been Jay. This has been Round Our Way. Thanks for watching.